Thank you very much. Good morning, Coach Summers.
Morning. How are y'all?
Doing good. Thank you for asking. Appreciate you joining us this week as always. Again, as a reminder to everyone, we're joined by head coach Tyson Summers of Georgia Southern. Coach, before we get to questions, your thoughts on last week's game against Arkansas State?
Well, I think that Coach Anderson and Arkansas State put together a good game plan and certainly played really well. Says a lot about the character of their team, starting off 0-4, coming back and finding a way to win the game late. Unfortunately for us, lived in a world where we had 5 takeaways and didn't have enough points off of them, and didn't have any turnovers. And you're supposed to win those games. We weren't able to do that, and offensively we've got to find a way to be able to score touchdowns rather than settling for field goals the way that we wound up having to do. And defensively, we give up too many yards, and don't make plays in the scenarios at the end of the game where we need to. And again, got to give a lot of credit to them for what they've been able to do and getting their team ready to play.
Thank you, Coach. And looking ahead to the game this Saturday, your thoughts on the Georgia Tech Ramblin' Wreck?
Well, again, really interesting scenario. Obviously, Coach Johnson and the tremendous amount of success that he had as the head coach here at Georgia Southern. Got another member of their staff, and Mike Sewak, their offensive line coach, that was the head coach here at Georgia Southern as well. So, and an in-state rivalry. We've got a number of different things kind of going on there. Coach Sewak's son, Nick, plays for us here at Georgia Southern. And, we look up and are playing, certainly a good football team and a team that's won a lot of games and obviously a very well-respected head coach. And going against a team, again, that is that we've got to find a way to win this game. And as we sit there and go through it, they've certainly got good players. I think it certainly starts with Coach Johnson and, what they do offensively. Obviously, you're talking about having, really good players in Dietrich Mills. Their be-back, obviously Justin Thomas, the quarterback, that is both a tremendous runner and passer in what they do, and good players in 22 Clinton Lynch, and good receivers outside, with guys like Ricky June, who continued to make plays versus Pitt the other day, and Brad Stewart, a guy who's from right down the road from us here in Statesboro, and a team, again, that has weapons and certainly knows what they're doing within their offense. Defensively, obviously you look at Ted Roof being the defensive coordinator, a guy who played at Georgia Tech, knows his state very, very well, and again, having good players kind of across the board. If you sit there and you look at them from a D-line perspective, obviously their front four does a really nice job, but guys like Patrick Gamble, Keyshawn Freeman really stand out to you. P.J. Davis is a fantastic player and 4-year starter for them at linebacker. And then you go back and you look in their secondary where, again, very talented and guys that make a lot of plays. Obviously with guys like Corey Griffin and Lance Austin, A.J. Gray, and Steph Durham. I mean, they've got good players. It's an in-state game for us, and a game that we played 2 years ago, and felt like, again, coming out of that thing, that we had not had our opportunities to win. We should have been able to make it. So it'll be an exciting trip for us in Atlanta this week.
Thank you, Coach. As a reminder to members of the media on the call, you can press *1 at this time to get in the queue to ask questions for head coach Tyson Summers. Our first questions come from Justin Baxley with the Macon Telegraph.
Okay.
Good morning, Coach. How you doing?
Good morning, Justin. How are you?
Doing well. If you could just kind of talk a little bit about, you're coming off a tough loss and getting ready to take on a Power 5 team. How important is it to get this win and get back on track with the season?
Well, it's extremely important. I mean, at the end of the day, we sit here in a scenario, and it's kind of like what I told our team the other day. We're 3-2, not where we want to be. We're 2 or 3 plays away from having a win versus Western Michigan, and we're one of any 20 plays you want to pick, versus winning the game this last week. Unfortunately, that's a bunch of ifs and buts, and that's why we sit here at 3-2 instead of 4-1 or 5-0. We're not where we want to be, but certainly a win, obviously, versus a Power 5 team. Probably more importantly, a team that's in our state is an important piece. And if we can sit there and find a way to win this one and be at 4-2, we've got a chance to get ourselves back on track the way we need to.
And Coach, you've got a little bit more time to prepare for them. How important is that, having a few extra days to get ready for an offense like Georgia Tech?
Well, you would think that we had a couple extra days. We had a mild weather issue here for the last, and I'm trying to just add some humor to it. We've had certainly Hurricane Matthew and the storms that have come with it that have prevented some of that, the way that you would sit there and think, to be able to get going. So really we were, from a staff standpoint, we were able to kind of be in and out, certainly trying to take care of our families and our community, for the 24 hours around the time that Matthew was near our area. And then, we've tried to be able to have a little bit more time with our staff to get prepared, but we really haven't been able to do it with our players the way you would think.
And playing an offense that's fairly similar to you, obviously you've got the Paul Johnson influence at Georgia Southern, and he's now at Georgia Tech. How do you, I guess, match up as far as styles, and knowing that you run pretty similar style?
Well, we're certainly option, but we're out of the gun when we do it. I think that what that gives you some advantages is really at times both for the offense, but as much for the defense. When you have defenses that are used to going against the option, I think it kind of gives them a little bit of a leg up in how they need to play and what their responsibilities come to, week in and week out. Offensively, they're at the end of the day, we both are an option attack, but we're very different in what we do and what we try to attack. So I don't know that there's as many similarities as you would think with them being under center and us out of the gun.
All right, Coach. I appreciate it. You have a good day.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Justin, and thank you, Coach Summers. Those are all the questions we have for you today. We appreciate your time as always.
Okay. Thank you all so much.